The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
I'm Lisa Law. I've traveled the world to seek spiritual knowledge, to visit sacred places, and to find inner peace. Where we go and what we do on our journey is important. So are the people we meet along the way, the ones who support us, inspire us, and help us be more positive. I want you to meet these special people. So welcome to the Sharing Room. Welcome to the Sharing Room. Today it's my great pleasure to have Erin Almeda and Maryse Wirbal here. Maryse and Erin are both involved with the Front Door Agency here in Nashua. And the Front Door Agency has a wide variety of services that help the community and help people who are in crisis here in Nashua and beyond Nashua in Southern New Hampshire. So welcome.
Thank
you for coming.
Lisa. Thanks for having us.
Would you like to tell people a little bit about what you do as the executive director and what the Front Door Agency does for the community?
Sure, my pleasure. The Front Door Agency has been around for nearly 30 years, and our mission has always been to help families and individuals transition from crisis into self-sufficiency. Many of the people probably know us maybe as the Nashua Pastoral Care Center, and a couple years ago, as part of our 25th anniversary, we actually did a name change to the Front Door Agency. But even though we changed our name, our mission has always been consistent with helping families in crisis become independent and self-sufficient. And we really believe to do that, it's through education, higher education. That's what makes us a little different from some other organizations in the area, and what makes us so successful is because we really believe that empowering families to become independent through education is how we're going to make change and lasting impact in our community.
So who is the typical person who comes to you for help?
Sure. Our transitional housing program is our main program of our agency, and it's typically a single mom between the ages of 18 and 35 with young children usually under the age of 10. And about 85% of the women come to us with histories of domestic violence or substance abuse history, whether themselves or a partner or a family member, and with income of less than $1,000 a month, and they just cannot support themselves or their children. So they come to us really in that crisis situation. Little of them receive child support, so they're really trying to make it and raise their kids on their own, and they just can't do it with the average rent in the Nashua area at over $1,200 a month for a 2-bedroom. They're not going to make it. So we provide them, though, the opportunity for education to improve their own situation, because we believe that even though if we provide housing supports, within a couple of years they're still going to need housing supports. So by giving them the opportunity to get an education or a job skill, they'll be able to really move forward and be able to support a market rent and get a better job and be economically viable. So
when people come into your transitional housing program, do they have to make a commitment for a certain period of time?
Absolutely. It's typically, I want to make the distinction that our transitional housing program is a program that offers housing support. It's not a housing program. It's not for everybody. It's typically for that woman, that single mom, who is motivated and dedicated to making a life change, a permanent life change. So they have to be willing to make that commitment to education, to working with us and attending therapy if we find it's deemed appropriate. And in most cases, 95% of the women in our program really need therapy. They've had a lot of traumas in their life that they need to overcome in order to move forward. We have 3 phases in our program. So our phase 1 is actually located right on the top of Main Street on Concord Street. It's called the Norwell Home. It used to be an old nursing home, actually. And we took
your office
ownership.
is right across the street?
Yep, our main office is right across the street, so it's been perfect relationship there, and it's been wonderful. It provides our phase 1 of our program, and we have 24/7 staff coverage there, so we're really able to assess a family's needs and issues right when they come in. We have 8 families and their children that reside there, so we can have a pretty hectic household with all the children living there, for sure. But we ask the women, it's a rigorous program, and it's not for everyone. The women have curfews that they have to maintain during the weeknight and weekends, they have to maintain their rooms and the home in general, just so that they have a sense of pride in where they live.
Well, and you offer financial literacy. That's one of the education programs.
Yep,
And you want to talk a little bit about some of the other programs that they receive?
Absolutely. So financial literacy is another program that we offer at the Front Door Agency, and we offer that right now twice a year, and we're hoping to expand that to 3 times a year. It's a series of 5 weeks of financial training, basic financial training for anyone. It's not just for our clients in transitional housing, but it's open to the community at large.
Oh, okay. That's
and
good.
we actually just finished up our spring session, and we had 15 graduates, and actually the majority of them were from community referrals this past time. And one woman actually, through our program, she quoted that she has learned how to save $300 a month in her budget just by going through our program and learning how to.
I remember
to do
hearing
different
stories
things.
of people saying, they go and get that coffee every day, and they don't realize how much that everyday coffee or whatever that one luxury
Right.
item is, how that adds up over the course of a week and a course of a month, and how
Exactly.
it takes away from maybe some other basic needs you might have.
Exactly.
When you're,
Or even just learning how to use coupons effectively. We had a little training on how to use coupons effectively, so you can really save on that and double coupon and things of that nature. There's one woman who came in and talked about how just through couponing she would save almost $400 a month.
That's great.
And I learned a lot from that session. And Erin
been my
actually,
mom.
right? And Erin has been a wonderful supporter over the course of the years, and even volunteered and babysat during financial literacy sessions.
Oh, that's good. Erin's, you're the current president of the board.
Correct, yeah. I've been on the board for 6 years now and have the pleasure of being the board president for the past year. I really get a tremendous amount out of serving on the board. It's a great agency. It's filling a vital need in the community. And my time's limited, so if I'm going to pick an agency to volunteer and support, I want it to be one that I do feel gives back to the community.
I was on the board for 12 years.
That's right, yeah.
And
our terms
I found,
overlap.
we overlapped, and it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But it's a very active board.
Yes.
You do a lot of fundraising, and I understand your fundraising efforts are changing this year. You're changing the structure of what you do.
Yes. Yep.
And would you
We're very thrilled after a lot of strategic planning and really looking at what we do and how what we do well and what we need to improve upon. We realized that if we want to grow more as an agency and not rely so heavily on government funding that continues to dwindle over the years, that we really need to take a look at our current fundraising structure. And we are currently holding 3 events at the time. We had a gourmet festival, a golf tournament, and then penny pickers. And what we decided strategically was to take a chance and actually eliminate one of the events and really enhance the 2 other events to really try to avoid sponsor burnout,
the
board
same
burnout.
people are getting asked all the
Exactly.
time for
Yeah. And it's
to help all the different
Yep.
organizations in
and
the
staff,
area.
and staff burnout.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of work
As
for
well.
the staff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
as well.
And
Yeah.
for the board.
So,
Right.
yeah.
So we were able to cut some of those costs and enhance our 2 existing events. And we had our gourmet festival in March, which Lisa, you've chaired for several
did.
years.
Yeah, it
over
was
the
a lot of
years.
fun.
Yeah, and was a huge.
Yeah, for people who haven't been before, you have about 20 different restaurants.
Yes.
And then you have probably 150 silent auction items, all very high quality items. And then there's also a live auction
Yes,
component
with
for
Yeah.
with our
really,
wonderful
really
auctioneer.
nice trips and trip to South Africa and all kinds of really neat things.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
And
it's
everything's is donated. And John Terrio, our auctioneer, is a comedian and provides some comic relief at the event as well
is a
as
fun
raising
event.
some
Yeah, he
wonderful
makes it fun.
money.
Well, and a lot of the people who donate have given for as many years as I can remember, that you
yes.
don't even have to ask them anymore. Some of them, they just send the stuff in.
Yeah.
They really do. They
Yeah.
really do. You included.
I try to help.
Yes.
I'm not on the board anymore, but it's still a place I hold in my heart.
Yeah.
Because it is such a heartfelt organization. And like you
We
said, it
appreciate
just makes
that.
you feel good to be involved with something that I love, that it's teaching people skills, and it's
Right.
teaching people who want to change the skills that
Exactly.
they need to be successful in that change.
So we provide the
it's
tools
really-
and the direction, but they have to do the work.
It's not
You know,
easy.
it's-
I remember hearing stories of people and
But I'll tell you, it pays off. Yeah, just this past weekend, we had a young woman who graduated with a dual associate's degree from the New Hampshire Community College. She had an associate's degree in marketing and an associate's degree in accounting.
Oh, okay,
So
interesting.
she's on a full job search, and she's already had some leads. So she's doing really well. We're so proud of her.
That's
and she
great.
came, you know, she had a language barrier and a lot of different, she had a horrific domestic violence history, and so she's overcome a lot of barriers to get here.
that's
So we're
good.
so proud of her. And then we had a young woman who graduated from Riviera University with her bachelor's degree in criminal justice and works full-time now at a law firm in Manchester, almost self-sufficient now on her own. And we had just success after success. We had a young woman who graduated from the St. Joe's School of Nursing and works full-time for Dartmouth Hitchcock. We had a young woman who got her bachelor's degree in business management and works in the accounting office for a real estate agency in Nashua.
It must be fun for you because you have been there for so long and to see the organization evolve and then see all the people associated with the organization because all of your graduates come through. And then it must be fun to see people, like, I know I grew a lot as a result of being on the board. I feel like I graduated from the program when I left the board because I learned so much, and you have a wonderful board of directors, and people really come together to support this sense of community in a really neat way.
Yeah, it really is a hands-on board. And, you know, I will speak to the value of the agency to a donor. I know when I was choosing to come on the board and as such also become a donor myself, it was important for me that I knew my contributions were going to be well used. And I think the front door goes beyond that. My contributions and those of other donors are really well invested. I like to think of our donors are making an investment in the community because the women do all want to work so hard to improve themselves and their
each
situation.
person who makes those changes in their life, then they impact their kids and they impact their families, and
yes.
it impacts their social circle. So each person that you
It goes so far
it's
beyond that
just that one
woman.
person, which is wonderful to
Absolutely.
help that one person, but
Right.
you can probably see how it just kind of spreads in a nice way.
We really provide that holistic approach and breaking that cycle, because a lot of
Right.
the women who come to our program, a lot of them, they never had those skills or learned or were taught.
I
how
remember
to do
just
that.
basic housekeeping skills
Exactly.
and budgeting and
Time management and
parenting.
yeah, parenting is a significant part of our program as well. We offer parenting supports and parenting programs for our moms too. So it's good.
You help elderly people too. You want to
Yep.
tell a little bit about that?
Besides our transitional housing program, we also have 4 other programs, and one I already touched upon with financial literacy, but we also do prevention and intervention of homelessness program, which helps families in 2 different really distinct areas. One is by providing security deposit loans to any family who's income eligible to be able to get into housing. So we provide them with a security deposit loan, and they have up to 2 years to repay it, and there's no interest, no finance charges, no loan fees. Whatever is the amount of the security deposit is what they borrow.
Which can be very substantial.
Oh.
A security deposit could be a full month's rent.
Yep.
For
Again,
many
with the-
people,
with-
which is such a barrier.
Yep. With $1,200 a month average rent, you know,
Right.
families need $2,400 to get into a place, and that would be a hardship for myself. Never mind, you know, the population that we serve. So
Right.
to be able to offer this and help really transition families from homelessness into affordable, safe housing is critical, and I'm thrilled that
I would
we've
think
offered
landlords would
this.
like working with you.
They do. Actually, we have a wonderful rapport and relationship with many of the landlords. It's a guarantee that we have. So what we do is we issue a guarantee versus the money up front, and then the client repays us, and once the loan is paid in full, we then redeem that promise or that voucher to the landlord, and now they've established good credit as well. So a lot of times the client lacks that. This is a wonderful opportunity for them to get to establish some good credit, and then we are a great reference to them in future endeavors. So we issue about 100 security deposits annually and about $100,000 worth of security deposits annually.
Wow. Yeah. So does that money come from donations, or is that federally funded? Or?
That program is a state-funded program.
That's state.
Yeah, they just fund the actual security deposit vouchers themselves, but to actually have the case management and the screening tools and so forth, that the employees' salary and so forth is funded through our fundraising events.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And then we have and the other part of that program is that we do provide assistance for rent utilities for families who have faced a crisis and they just need a little hand-up opportunity to get back to self-sufficiency. Yeah. So it could be a temporary job loss, they could have gotten injured and have,
or
reduced
health,
pay,
any kind of health thing.
A health issue, anything that could have just changed the balance of their life, and they just need that little opportunity, that little help to get them back to a safe, secure place. And we really do prevent people from going into homelessness with this program, and which helps the community, because we know that the best way to keep a family safe and healthy is by preventing them from becoming homeless to begin with.
So all of these needs kind of grew out of need in the Nashua area community.
Absolutely. I've always participated in the community needs assessment that United Way of Greater Nashua has put on. I'm involved in the continuum of care, where we see the pulse of the Nashua community and some of the gaps, and we're always assessing that through our own strategic planning process, which we've done since day one.
Because you don't want to have multiple agencies doing multiple things for the same need.
Yeah. And actually, a good point to that is in our last strategic plan, which was about 5 years ago, we realized, maybe us having a food pantry isn't the best use of what we want to do with our resources, and because there were so many other agencies offering food assistance that do it better. And we are just kind of competing with them for resources.
Staff and volunteer time.
Exactly. So we actually partnered with a couple other agencies and allowing them to provide the food assistance, and it's worked out really well by us eliminating that. And also we do the Santa Fund program.
I think I was going to bring that up because I think a lot of people are familiar with that from the paper.
Yes, we do. We've been doing the Santa Fund since 1996. Last year we served over 520 families, and 1,100 children received brand new toys, gifts, and clothing through the program. It is all-encompassing, as Erin will attest to.
Yeah, the whole, it becomes Santa's workshop at 7 Concord Street.
And the generosity every year from people in the community that come together to make sure that
too.
These
we have religious organizations, companies, businesses, individuals, and civic groups. It is amazing.
And
every
all
year,
the kids always get adopted every year.
Every year I'm in awe at how the community comes together. Truly, it's full circle, comes together, and makes such a huge difference.
When does that start? When do you start on that?
We start taking applications at the end of October. And the beginning of November. And then the adoption process and volunteers who shop for us and so forth happen throughout the months of November and
Are there common things that you need every year?
I would say teenage gifts are always in need.
So what's a good teenage gift? I never know what to do for that.
To be
iTunes,
honest,
gift cards, or
I think it's more having the ability to go out with their friends, having something so as simple as a Burger King gift card. So when they go out with their friends to the mall, they can join in with their friends and get something, because they usually don't have that opportunity. They're always, back, I'm not hungry. When in fact they are, but they just don't have the money to be in with their friends. It's the only time of year too that they get something new. It really, we see that over and over. So the new pair of sneakers goes particularly for teenage boys, goes a long way, or a Nike sweatshirt, for teenagers or things like that.
What impresses me is when the parent comes in during the intake process, they are qualified, that they meet the participation requirements. And then they have a short list of things that they think their children would like. And really, they are not over the top things. And I've had many, many moms say, my daughter would love some UGG-like boots, or my son would love a jacket that looks like North Face. they're not really asking
Yeah.
for
The name brand
the name.
things.
No, and often they get them because of the generous people who step forward and adopt them.
Or the
But-
people who ask for the underwear and the
Or pajamas.
Socks.
and pajamas.
Yeah.
Those are big requests
Bedding.
every year. Bedding,
Just a
yes.
warm
Bedding and
comforter.
toiletries. People don't think about toiletries
Yeah.
That's a big thing for teenage girls, particularly, is they love to get the shampoos and
too.
the,
And
the hair
scented,
products.
the
Yeah.
scented
the
lotions
body
and different
sprays.
things.
Yeah,
And
that's
this,
a
you know, like
big
a
one.
silver earring, you know, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So,
I love that.
No, that's definitely a feel-good program
Yeah.
to be involved in.
So you're changing the penny pickers. People probably know
Yes.
you because of penny pickers too, the yellow smocks going door to door.
Yep.
So how is that going to be different this year?
Well, we are still going to be doing penny pickers, but it's going to be over 3 days versus 4 days this year, and really it's part of
Will
our
it be
new.
2 weekends?
It'll be over 2 weekends,
okay.
yes. And the football teams for Nashua High North and South are still committed to volunteering and penny picking
that's good.
every year. They bring in the majority of our volunteers along with Revere University. Their athletic
okay.
teams also
Interesting.
participate.
That's
And it's
good.
so much fun to see the youth get involved in our community as well through this grassroots effort. And then it's part of our new Harvesting Change campaign. So through the months of October and November, we have various different activities that we do to really harvest change in individuals and also collecting change to
Yeah, that's good.
make an impact.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and one of our new events that we started last year, which was very successful, was a murder mystery dinner. And we held it at LaBelle Winery. And,
Oh, that's a beautiful spot.
and Amy LaBelle is one of our board members.
Nice.
So we were able to work with her in really planning a nice new event. And it was sold out in 2 weeks.
Well,
that
and
it was
that's
advertised.
an important point is you don't just serve the Nashua community, you serve Southern New Hampshire.
We do.
Right.
We
yeah.
do, yep.
Greater Nashua.
Greater Nashua area, Southern Hillsborough County.
So if someone's interested in becoming a volunteer or a board member, what are some of the things they could do to help support your agency?
Sure. Do you want to take that? Or?
If they're interested in serving on the board, they can certainly contact Maryse at any time, and she can give them more information. And then often Maryse and I will sit down with a prospective board member to kind of assess what it is they're looking for in terms of service and assess that fit. But we're always interested in talking.
Well, and you
Absolutely.
need people of all different skill sets.
Absolutely.
And even if
Right.
you have never been a fundraiser before, I never knew I had that ability until I evolved at the
Same.
agency.
Right.
So you teach a
Same
lot of
with me.
skills along the way too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So even if you think you're going in for one thing, you might find you gravitate towards something else.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
Great. And you touched upon it, that it's really the relationships as well. Our board is comprised of about 23 to 25 community members from a diverse area of expertise, and when they come together, they actually have a lot of good times, and we have a lot of
The
fun. We
meetings
try to
are
do
fun.
a social aspect as well, and great
Yeah,
camaraderie
it's a
and
good-
community spirit.
And even if you're not interested in being on the board, people can come and help for the Christmas sign-ups and
Absolutely.
other
Yep.
ways too, right?
Our whole
Babysitting.
Yes, babysitting. We need always
that's-
babysitters for the various groups that we have for our women. We also have financial literacy presenters that we need volunteers for. Our front desk actually is now totally run by volunteers.
Oh, interesting.
So we have 4 days a week from our front desk. It's various community members who actually are fully trained through a process and
Nice.
answer the phones and greet our.
Do you have to be a certain
Nice.
age to volunteer?
Not at all, actually. Yep, we'll take all ages.
My kids volunteered. I pushed them in the stroller and
Yes.
they
Yeah.
go and during penny
For
pickers.
penny pickers,
and
yes.
so we got them out early.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to get the kids involved in giving back is through penny pickers, explaining that, and we are happy to talk to the children about what the money goes to. We have many schools that are actually involved in penny pickers, and they do in-house school drives, and we actually go and present, and we have a kid-friendly flyer so that they can relate to what we talk about and what we do.
Well,
for
it's
them.
amazing how quickly that change adds up. How much do you typically
Yeah.
raise in that
We raise between $30,000 and $40,000
just in change?
Just in change.
Yeah.
And a few dollars thrown into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We always
We like a few
appreciate those
dollars.
with cooking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like the community to know that we haven't touched on in our final few moments here?
Maybe just that our murder mystery event for the fall is going to be on Tuesday night, actually Tuesday, October 27th at LaBelle Winery again.
Nice.
And it's going to be Murder at the Casino. So we're actually having a casino theme. So the whole place is going to be closed just for our event. So we are transforming the entire LaBelle Winery experience. It'll be fantastic. We'll have a VIP experience where you'll be able to go and taste wine right from the barrels and learn about how to make wine through Amy LaBelle herself. Nice. And then we'll have some casino games, blackjack and roulette and all the fun stuff. And then someone will be murdered in the casino. And we'll all be going into the ballroom to find out for the dinner theater part of it.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it'll be fun.
Be a great
Do you have a
event.
date for the Gourmet Festival next year? It's usually around the same time in
It's
March,
It's a Sunday, the Sunday, March 20th. I believe it might be the
Third Sunday.
Yes, it's the third Sunday in March.
People can check your website. Would you like to share
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
Yes, it's www.frontdooragency.org.
Well, thank you
Okay.
both for being here. It's a great pleasure
Great.
to
Thank
share
you,
the Front
Lisa.
Door Agency with the community and continued success.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
Thanks
Lisa.
for the
Thank you for all your
opportunity.
support.
Yeah, you're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you for joining us today. I hope to see you again sometime in the future. Bye-bye.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.